It's cool having you here hanging out with us, chilling. Speedrunning is very hard. I don't imagine anyone's going to say differently, but I struggle with it. You know, I could have a more comfortable chair. I wouldn't, probably wouldn't shift around so much. I just think all these chairs I have are uncomfortable. So yeah, I have one on the way though. At least I placed the order today. So hopefully that'll be here ever. I'm worried that something's going to go wrong with the delivery. Not sure why. Sometimes that happens. You order something like really expensive and then something goes wrong with it, and the whole hassle trying to... I had something that wasn't delivered to me, and when I was talking to the guys, whoever sent it, when I was talking to them about just sending a replacement, they said that they weren't going to refund or replace until I got a police warrant about it, and I'm like, are you out of your freaking mind? You can't just send me another product? I shouldn't have to fill out a police report because you couldn't deliver an item correctly. So, you know, I don't want to run into another one of those. Especially when I have, like, almost no funds and I spent what very little I have on a chair so I could be comfortable. Help reduce some of my squirming about. Of course, I've had these chairs for a long time. Bought a very inexpensive office chair because I needed a second chair. And the other one that I've been using another one for like 8 years. Like, there's no cushion left in this. It's sitting on hard plastic, basically. No wonder I'm shifting a lot. And chairs are expensive. I've never had to really look into the cost of gaming chairs. But I see a lot of these streamers with epic chairs, and I'm like, how do you get these chairs? Aren't they expensive? And then I look, and I'm like, okay, yeah, these things are actually expensive. And you just... It blows my mind that people who are streaming full-time just seem to have this surplus of money laying around that they can buy all sorts of expensive stuff. Like, are you burning holes in your credit card? Are you blowing through all of your savings or something? Like, how do you just buy thousands of dollars of gear? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, I was making decent money, but I still couldn't just do that. I got no clue. Maybe these people have jobs making like 90,000 a year and they can just drop bombs like that. I feel like everybody in the world has access to all sorts of money, but even when I was making a lot, I was the poor guy. It doesn't even make sense. So I try to make my light quality and auto quality good with the tools that I have. I have a tiny little ring light that my mom got for me, which was very nice of her. I have a, I mean, relatively inexpensive microphone that I'm trying to make sound good with OBS filters. So you don't get too much extra outside sound, feedback, whatever. So yeah. Big guy. Break. There you go. Joshy G, subscribe the 4-month subscription, dude. Wow. Gosh, I don't even know what to say. Thank you so much for that. That's a long time to be subscribed to this channel. I really do appreciate that. How are you? How is everything? Life's treating you well, I hope. Good to have you here. But yeah, thank you again for the sub. Really, it's very nice of you. We are trying our best to speedrun Hollow Knight. Had two PBs today. Really excited about that. But I'm struggling to find areas where I can improve. But we'll see what we can do. I got a lot of practice. Things are good, been busy. Well, hopefully busy in a good way. I know that sometimes busyness is mandatory or not preferred. But I think it's good to stay busy. I think it's hard not to stay busy. I don't know, maybe this is a hot take, but there are people who sometimes say they're bored. Maybe it's when you're younger, I don't know, but I've never really felt bored. Like, there's so many things to do all of the time. So many things I don't have enough time to do all the things I want to do. So I never really find myself in a position where I'm bored. So, yeah, it's easy to stay busy. I like to stay busy. Decompressing for me is just staying busy in a different way. So yeah. Had a buddy's wedding this weekend. Oh, nice. Was that like out of city, out of state? You got to travel for that? Chilling locally. It's really cool. It's nice to, you know, hang with a friend, watch them go through something so important to them. Why did I read that? Oh my gosh, that was so... just... Guess I gotta pay closer attention to my inputs then. I didn't realize I pushed the up button. Sorry, that just caught me off guard. All of a sudden I'm reading a sign I hadn't intended on reading. 2 blocks away from your apartment, okay. Cheeto, you're always bored? Why is that? Aren't you like playing games, Hollow Knight, things like that all the time? I thought you had a lot of challenges and things that you're working on. Sorry to hear that you are always bored, though. Yeah. Maybe all the things that you're working on are just too easy, and you don't find them particularly engaging anymore. You could try speedrunning. Oh, school? Yeah, school for sure is boring. I support that perspective 100%. I don't support that it should be boring, but I recognize that it is. I don't know if Bisa is still here in chat, but she was playing Steel Soul Hollow Knight today on stream. And I appreciate that she tried the VS skip in Green Path. Considering how difficult it is, especially if you've never tried it before. Like, yeah, cool. That's how you do things. That's how you get better at things, is just giving it a try. Sometimes you just gotta like throw yourself out there and see what happens. What kind of stuff are you learning in school, though? I mean, you seem to be the type of person who gets like really good at things really fast, right? So school's boring because it's easy, or completely uninteresting, or both. I didn't really find too many topics engaging in high school anyway. There's got to be a faster way to get past these sections. I'm taking a lot more time to kill these bugs than I should, now that I think about it. I do stuff like that. Cool. I turn around to get that last hit on that little bug, because that's what I saw in a video, though I don't fully understand why. Maybe just that little extra bit of soul is worth turning around for? Not sure. For some reason, I'm not that hungry during the day, but I eat anyway. I've taken a lot of calories, but it seems like no matter how much I eat during the day, I'm always very hungry around like dinner time. I've had a lot for dinner today, but I'm still like starving. I don't understand why. That blows my mind. Had like 800 or 900 calories in the last few hours, which, considering I haven't really done a whole lot active today, that's should be a lot. And had a lot earlier. I probably had like 2,000 calories today, which, considering I've been very sedentary, should be more than sufficient, really. So I don't know about that. No idea what I need to do differently. But I guess... I don't know. You know, sometimes you just get so hungry your stomach hurts. Kind of where I am. I'm not sure how I should fall there. There's a deerling in chat, guys. You want to get yourself a deerling? Now is your chance to. I love that I have a bot that can just do that for me, especially now that I'm speedrunning. Oh my gosh. This may be my last run, to be honest. My level of mistakes is increasing a lot. Oh my gosh. So weird. There we go. The first time I didn't get the explodey ball over to me quickly, but I don't know. Weird things happen sometimes. Okay. Still, I really have to think about Mantis skip. It's not automatic, but I've been getting it more than I expected, so that's good. Making solid improvement there. I don't know why, but in my mind it's kind of hard tech to do that, but honestly it's easier than ePogo. You know, especially the ePogo that I do. I guess because for so long I wasn't learning how to do it, so I saw it as this daunting thing. And I was like, man, I don't know how to do it, and it was a little frustrating, but it's like, of course I don't know how to do it. I've never tried to learn how to do it yet. And then now that I know how to do it, it's like, okay. It's super hard tech because I spent so long stressed about it. But you shouldn't be stressed about something that you don't know how to do. Because you don't know how to do it. I don't know if any of that made sense. I just ramble sometimes, it's just part of knowing me. For those of you who actually know me pretty well, you're gonna hear me ramble, it's just part of my process. Unavoidable is what it is. So like this room right here, there's a tiny little time save. I'm not sure what it is, but there's a faster way of dropping down here than I just did. And it's like the most incremental, minuscule thing. But I don't know how to do it. Gonna play Hollow Knight? Nice, that's exciting. A fun game. Clearly, I'm doing it for a living now. Yes, I play Hollow Knight for a living. That's a real statement. It's crazy to think about. I'm actually a full-time content creator, and I took a week off to move, but I feel like I lost a month. I feel like I was doing so many things. I was on such a great path, but that's bizarre. I took a week off, now I feel like I'm rushed to get back into the swing of things, but I'll be fine. Got a couple of videos coming up of boss fights and PBs. So I took the time to edit down. A video of my last PB, which was 4107. But now that I have something marginally better, I want to post that. So then I'll just I guess delete the other one that I just did, and then gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. Gosh. I'm trying to not stay in this guy's line of sight. Like Brother Wildness was saying that in order to not get the Vengeful Spirit shot from the shade, I need to not remain in its pathway. And so I'm like, I thought I was going up and down like a lot, but he still shot at me, and I'm not sure how to avoid that. And I say that I don't know how to avoid that because what I thought was the solution wasn't working. Gosh, this is going to be so hard to optimize. No wonder people spend years doing this. Because even if I get these big time saves and small time saves, all the micro time saves probably lead to a couple minutes. Power through. Let's get the dream nail, guys. Dream nail away. All right. Come on, moth. Only one moth left. The lore behind the moths is kind of interesting. The whole lore of the game is interesting. Really like it a lot. Alright, now we get the dream nail, and then let's see if I can get this room skip. That'd be kind of cool. I'm losing time, which is weird, because I think I'm doing things pretty optimally, but I'm still... What was that? Lost like a second and a half? Cool, made it out. Nice. I like the inventory drop. If you start dashing before you hard land, you don't get a hard landing. That's so weird how that works. I love skipping that room though, save a lot of time. And it's... I'm trying to pay attention to how much time you lose with tiny little mistakes. Like if you miss a jump and then you can jump again right away, that's like... Oh, that could be like a second and a half right there. Those things add up. Okay, that was fine. Can't really stop the RNG there. Always a weird hallway. Maybe I can just avoid benching altogether. So if I don't take damage here, I should be fine to not bench. That was almost bad. Alright, cool. So in that instance, I don't think it's good to kill... Sometimes you'll kill all of the buggies in the first room. Sometimes you won't kill one of them and it'll take 2 slashes. Sometimes it might be better to have those 2 slashes to fill up your soul for the Gorgeous Husk, I think it's called. I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. Alright, so I've still only taken 1 damage. I could heal on the way. Cool, okay. I missed the thing. I missed the skip. And I broke both the things I needed for the skip. I was trying something new. That's fine, I can try new things. That's how you get better. Oh, sugar and spice. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I am learning though, slowly. Cool. Okay, dash at me is fine. Get one more hit off of this guy. I could probably get 2 hits off him, really. Alright, cool. Double heal. Have one more shot left for the chandelier. Yeah, that's it. Okay. I actually got that without thinking about it. That was cool. Solid improvement when you can get something without thinking about it. Get both of you. Oh, I don't even know if that's optimal still. All right, so okay. Oof, so many things are happening here. Okay, now you're done. Finally, you're dead. Okay, cool. That wasn't great, but it is what it is. Couldn't keep them together. I was having a hard time even... Well, to be fair, I wasn't really trying to keep them together. I lost sight of that. Really just staying alive. Which, you know, you kind of run into. I'm working on new top-tier strategies for that fight, but it's difficult because they're new and I haven't really still have to think about it. Alright, cool. Dream nailing away. I feel like I really have to optimize the beginning portion of the run. It's going to be hard to make up time at the end because I got a lot of golds recently at the end of the run. I can save about 15 seconds on Umu, I think, compared to my PB. That's where most of my time save is going to be. I'm going to have a hard time getting gold on Crystal Heart. Okay. We got this. We can power through. We're not too far back. Made some good time. Cool. Alright, let's do this, guys. Go to Crystal Heart. Oh, okay. There we go. Nice. I don't know how to do that. That's gonna be so hard to practice. Getting menu drop is... So I have to take... I don't even have to... I have to take the same one idea, like something as simple as an inventory drop, and just practice it for hours, like literally just that over and over and over again. Each day. Not hours each day, but at least like the same one inventory drop, 30 minutes each day. for weeks until I can just get it down every single time. But the muscle memory's there. And finding out you can't just brute force. You can't spend 20 hours on one thing one day and expect it to be consistent. You do have to spend a little bit of time each day. So the each day part's important. Let it sink into your memory. It's like cramming for a test. You won't remember it if you try. There's a Snover in chat, guys. You want to get yourself a Snover? Give it a go. Wasn't really a huge fan of Snover, but it's my understanding that it's pretty powerful. Alright, so that's everything there. Well, Snover not by itself pretty powerful, but it evolves into something pretty powerful. Not sure if there's a lot of interest in Pokemon for the sake of the Pokemon themselves. Pokedex, battle. Full completion of the Pokedex is something that I'm going for. And I'm getting pretty close. Surprisingly enough. Of course, I've been working on it for a while. But that happens. When you work on something for a while, you get better at it. Further along at that thing. So, you know, yeah. Whoa! Hey, Sky Garrison. How are you? It's good to have you here. I appreciate the resub. For 15 months. 15-month resub, dude. That's insane. I cannot believe it's been that long. And I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Sky, how have you been, dude? What you been up to? Hopefully you've had a lot of good stuff going on in your life. Me, I'm working on this. That's kind of where I am right now. Just trying to get better at the speed run. Been doing this for a hair under a month now, I think. And trying to get as good as possible, as fast as possible. I don't know what my expectations are of myself. I don't have like a certain time in mind, but I just want to get better ASAP. I have overly high expectations of myself with respect to how long it takes to learn how to do things. I think I'm not giving myself enough time to actually get better the way that I need to. But yeah, what was I saying? Hope you've had a good day, week, month, year. Year, like I haven't talked to you in a year. I don't know. Nothing much, just chilling. Good vibes and all. I gotta figure out how many hits it takes to kill those giant pink spiky things. Because if I can beat them in 3 Vengeful Spirit Blasts, it may be worth it to just... I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know. That's a lot faster. That's a lot faster. That may be the way to go. Well, I'm glad to hear that everything's going in a decent direction for you. My life has had its interesting turns recently. But I'm happy for all the things that I have. Alright, what I'm about to do is extremely reckless and could get me killed. Almost did get me killed. But I am alive still. Okay, didn't get Pogax. That's so... I don't really know how to get Pogax. There is what's called good RNG for enemy movements, which I can do most of the time. But when the enemy has the bad RNG, I have no clue how to do it. It just seems random, I guess. So yeah, we'll figure that out. Pogax, if you didn't see, is a pretty... For me, it's a pretty difficult skip that saves you like 5 to 7 seconds, which is a huge deal if you take the hours it takes to learn it. Cool. Let's see, how's this section? Good? Okay. Alright, that wasn't too bad. I kind of messed that up a few times before. Let's see if I can do this right. Cannot do this right. Definitely want to heal. Instead of healing like 4 times, I'll just bench up ahead. That'll be a lot faster. Took a lot of damage going through there. So Sky Garrison, how familiar are you with Hollow Knight? I'm not sure if I asked you. Apologies if I did. I'm kind of tired. So I'm a little all over the place. Don't need to hit those things. Power through here. Awaken the Umu. I hate him. Alright, come on. Umu, come down here for me. Come on. We got this, Umu. You're mine. Coral, hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him. Don't want to take damage. I mean, you'd think that's generally true. I'm also supposed to pay attention to... So bad. Not supposed to lure him into the middle like that. Keep forgetting. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was so lucky at the end there. Glad I got that last hit off. He was about to go into his next attack pattern. That would have sucked. Would have taken a lot of time. We made up like 17 seconds there, which is cool. I did say we can make up like 15 to 16 seconds. And I was able to get it on the 4th cycle. Hey, we got a Revivalist raid. Revivalist, how are you, dude? Chimkin raid indeed. Dude, thank you so much for coming over here. Really appreciate that. How are you, Mirakin? How are you, Rev? Doing amazing. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear. Glad to hear everything is going well for you. And Zai, welcome to the stream. It's good to see you too. And yeah, Fat Ninja over here. Good to have you. How's everybody doing? Hope you're having a good Monday. It is Monday, right? I tend to lose track of days and things. So yeah. What were you guys streaming over there today? Rev, I noticed you've been streaming a bit more than usual. So, finding yourself more stream time, which is really cool. Huge supporter of that. Streaming's amazing. Phasmo tonight. That's a game. That's an interesting game. I've not played it. It looks cool. Does it? I'm thinking of Dead by Daylight, actually. I don't know if I've ever seen Phasmophobia, now that I think about it. Did well for amateur difficulty? Is it like a co-op style game? Yeah, I'm not really sure how it works. Straight up ghost hunting? Up to 4 peeps. Oh, cool. I did hear it's scary. So if there are people who are not good at dealing with jump scares, they probably shouldn't do that. Is it a jump scare game? Oh, it is scary, okay. Well then, not for the faint of heart. Keep that in mind. Oh, this is bad. Yeah, I knew I wasn't getting that one. Okay, third try is fine. Died much? You ever tried recently? Hold on. Sorry, I don't really understand the game well enough. I'm not sure what you're saying. Trying to figure out what kind of ghost you're dealing with and getting money for the evidence and stuff you find? Okay. Is this good enough? Okay, cool. That was fast. I'm in complete support of this. Oh, that's too low, isn't it? Ah. Okay, I'm trying new strategies. It's fine. Fine. This is fine. Allowed to try new strategies and mess up. Not a big deal. Can you guys tell me that it's okay to make mistakes on something I have never ever done before? That there's no problem with that? Perfectly normal. Okay, cool. Now we're through. This part is relatively easy. Cool. Stakes are okay. I guess in general is kind of your point. So speedrunning's hard, guys. If you didn't know. Close. So yeah, speedrunning's hard, if you didn't know that. And so, because I'm extraordinarily overly critical on myself and have been my whole life, yeah, support helps. Now, it's not your responsibility to say, hey, cheer up, jump. But, you know, is what it is. Nice to hear. It's okay to make mistakes on something you've tried a billion times. You should expect that on your first try. Maybe. Mirror tried Phasma recently and died a good many times reportedly. Ah, I see what you're saying. Gotcha. Yeah, that tends to happen. I guess it's okay to make mistakes when you're doing something for the first time, let alone when you're doing it for your billionth time, right? Is that the rumor? Open your face. Not something you normally say to people. kidding me? So bad. Okay. Okay, this is fine. Good, good, good. So these guys are really tough. Pokemon in chat. These are called Devouts. They're so hard to kill. Mistakes are part of life. Don't be so critical. Be constructive. Keep trying, or STFU. You're fine. I hear what you're saying, dude. You're all fine here. Are we green? We got back in the green. We weren't even that hard in the red. My goal is to shave 11.5 seconds off our personal best. If I can shave... Alright, so guys, check this out. Mirakin, Rev, everyone here who hasn't heard yet. I've been speedrunning for a month. There are 471 people on the leaderboard, I think. I've been speedrunning for a month with a week off because I had to move. So if I can shave 11.5 seconds off my time, I will be in the top 100, which is absurdly good, considering I've only been doing this a month for a game that's been here 5 years. Jenkins, hello! Welcome to the stream. It's good to have you here. How's life treating you? Hopefully everything's going well in your world. So all I have to do is do like 0.8 seconds better than I did on my personal best. Ish. So I can't mess up the Hollow Knight. Which means I have to not heal so much. So I have to not really take damage during this upcoming fight. Now I know what you're thinking. That's super easy to not take damage during the boss of the game when you have no upgrades whatsoever. 5.5. I'm not supposed to do that there. Right? Pretty straightforward. Came back from our trip, ended up sick. Ah, that's not good. But you said other than that, good. You know what? I'm glad to hear other than that, good. I really appreciate that perspective. I'm really glad that you're here. I think you were talking about your trip before. I'm pretty sure I asked about it. Pretty sure there were pictures, maybe. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember anything right now. Sorry. For those of you who don't know, as many of you do, Revivalist is somebody I know in real life, and by huge coincidence, we met up again online. This is amazing. Alright, guys. Let's do this. First scream already, that's good. Ah, come on, stop countering. This counter RNG, dude, seriously. 4 counters in a row. 5 counters in a row. 6 counters in a row. How does that happen? I've noticed that he'll do certain... Like, I don't think it's completely random, because there are times where he will... do certain moves a lot more often than others. Like, my recent PB, he only did his 3 slash move like 3 times. And then sometimes he'll counter a lot in a row. That was a pretty good round of that move. Okay, this is going pretty well, actually. I'm happy with this. Aside from having to heal twice. Alright, this is fine. Alright, so this is going to PB by a little bit, but it's not going to hit the time we were looking for. But you know what, guys? We're sub 41. We just beat our PB by 2.3 seconds. So this is our third PB of the night. Incrementally better. So before we started today, we were at... What is it? We were at 41 minutes 7 seconds. Now we're at 40 minutes 58 seconds. So 9 seconds off.